Hello, this is Quick Skills, and today I'm answering a question left on my channel by Sean Warner asking, does it got any WWE games? And this is in response to a review that I did of the Super Console X4 Plus. This is a plug-and-play retro console that you can find on AliExpress for around $60. I'm going to leave a link in the description of this video so you can pull it up for yourself. And I'm also going to put a coupon that's going to be good until December 4th. Their Black Friday sale will end there, and that'll take additional money off this price that you see here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to pull up the Super Console X4 Plus and check and see what WWE games it has for us to play. Once you have your Super Console X4 Plus turned on the bottom left-hand side of your screen, you'll see there are 103,000 games already installed on this device. That is because we are on all games. You can actually lower this number by going to the console you want to play, and you can see here there are 685 games. And this all games number will include duplicates because there are a lot of games that show up amongst a lot of these consoles that come installed on this device. Now, to find WWE games, what we're going to do is we're going to go into all games, and the easiest way to find these games is going to hit select on your controller, and we're going to filter games by text. Now, here's the thing. WWE used to be called WWF, and so what we're going to do is we're going to first search that, and you can see here we have a whole bunch of WWE games. Just scrolling through the compilation here. So we have WWF Raw for the Sega Mega Drive. We have WWF Royal Rumble for Naomi. We have WWF SmackDown for the PlayStation. And what we're going to do next, we're going to see if there's any WWEs. So we're going to hit select again on our controller. We're just going to change this to WWE and see if anything comes up. So we have two. We have WWE Road to Wrestlemania for the Game Boy Advance and WWE Survivor Series for the Game Boy Advance. So I don't think either of these are ones that you might be looking for, but let's just boot it up and see what we get. The good old-fashioned Game Boy Advance loading screen. Survivor Series. All right, let's jump into this. We have single player. All right, so I am playing WWE Survivor Series now. I'm playing on the Game Boy Advance, but I don't actually have a Game Boy Advance in front of me. So I don't have the right control scheme. I don't know what buttons to press. We can see this game is working. Alright, let's exit out of this game and try a new one. So to go back, what we're going to do is we're going to switch this over to WWF. Let's try the PlayStation version. Alright, let's move over to WWF SmackDown for the PlayStation. And what's cool about this is that once you have a game that you want to save or reach very easily without having to search for it, all you have to do is hold Y on your controller and it's going to put a star by it. And it'll also put it at the top of the menu. But it'll also be in its own folder called Favorites, and I'll show you that in a minute. But let's boot up WWF SmackDown for the PlayStation. Alright, so we have Mankind fighting The Rock for the PlayStation 1. This is SmackDown. Now what's interesting, I have played this game before. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if this is a setting within the PlayStation game or if this is just a bad ROM. But you can see up where it has the name of the player, it tells you what the computer's doing. So it says computer's thinking now, what is it going to do? And it has kind of like this command, and it tells you, I don't know if it's like a debugging mode, but this is how it came pre-installed. So I'm not going to make any changes to it, and this is how it came for me. Maybe your experience is different. Maybe this was a common thing for SmackDown, but here we can see Mankind and The Rock fighting each other on SmackDown for the PlayStation 1. Let's see what other WWE games we have to play. So here's one that I liked when I was a kid, WWF Wrestlemania. This is the arcade version. So what we're going to do is when we load it up, we are going to push select on our controller to give ourselves credit and then start to actually start the game. All right, so here we are inside of the WWF arcade cabinet. All we need to do is push select on the controller, And that's giving us credits. And now we push start, and we're able to pick the player that we want to be. And so I like the Undertaker. And this is the exact arcade cabinet that you would have played in the 90s with credits and everything. And this was one of my favorite ones because it felt more like a fighter than a wrestling game. A little bit more cartoonish in nature. And if you do have 2 players, you can push start on the other controller and you'll be able to play 2-player WWF. And you can tell I haven't practiced this at all because I'm not doing that great. Part of the fun is figuring out what the control schemes are because they're not going to be the same for every game. Arcade cabinets have their own configuration. Sometimes you'll have to find the right buttons. I've just found out where my kick was. Whoa. All right. Well, I wasn't successful there. Let's see if there's another game we want to test out. So WWF Royal Rumble was a Naomi version of the game, and Naomi is basically a Dreamcast but made for the arcade. So let's boot it up and see how it performs. Just a reminder, if you are interested in purchasing one of these Super Console X4 Pluses, go to the description of this video. That'll take you right to the AliExpress store. And if you're watching this before December 4th, 2024, you can get a discount code by putting in the promo code I'll put in the description. So here we have the game loaded up. This is a Dreamcast version of the game. I'm using the D-pad, nothing happens, but if I use the analog stick that comes with the controller, it is working. Let's go with Stone Cold Steve Austin, and let's put him up against, oh, there's a partner. Okay, Undertaker. So it's showing you how to fight. However, your control scheme, you're going to have to figure it out on your controller. Once you have it figured out, you won't have to remember it anymore. All right. This is looking pretty good. Just a reminder, if you have 2 players, you can push start on the other controller. Just make sure you give yourself enough credits by pushing select. You can see I'm getting credits there. So I think that's going to end my video for WWE games. Hopefully that answers your question, Sean Warner. Let's go ahead, before we discontinue, let's go ahead and exit out of here. And what we're going to do is scroll down the complete list of WWF games on here. We saw WWE didn't have much to offer, but if we hit down on the D-pad, we can go through all the WWF games. There might be other wrestling games on here, just not under the name WWF, so be sure if you are interested in playing some other arcade games that are wrestling style. I know the Japanese version of some of these wrestling games are pretty good as well. So that's the complete list when we search WWF on the Super Console X4 Plus. Well, thank you so much for watching. This is Quick Skills. I hope you enjoyed the video. You have a good day.